No, there's no insta win for my mistake, but we will get started back up again with Volskaya Foundry. Thank you very much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the mix-up. All right. To all the lovely fans out there watching, thank you very much for your patience. We've got it fixed now. The KT, the Kel'Thuzad ban will still go through here. I don't know if A-MEI-ZING is going to stick with their Haka ban. I'm certainly not going to try to enforce them to keep it. I don't know whether or not these initial bans were on purpose or not, or if they were trying to signal the guy that couldn't read the chat. So we'll just reset it and get this started again. You would think that the Haka is still a good ban here. He's very strong on 3-lane maps like Volskaya with that ability to, with the ability to split push and get the side soak. There are still a decent amount of, there still are a decent amount of events, but they are going to instead ban the Muradin, which is pretty interesting. You want the Abbey hat, you say? It's a little out of reach. I don't know how it got all the way over to the middle of my room, but it is not within reach, unfortunately. So if I have an excuse to get up, we'll look into that. But for now, we got the first pick, which I doubt will be Tracer. I was a little bit surprised by the Tracer, the early Tracer pick by A-MEI-ZING, but I think things were just getting weirder and weirder to try and signal me. It's Lucio, very, very common early pick here, is coming out for Subject to Change. Well believed to be the strongest healer in the meta currently. Great sustain for a map like Volskaya where you constantly want to be able to be putting pressure in on the point. And Hanzo and ETC going to be picked up in response. ETC also very, very strong. Hanzo having a lot of damage, a lot of mobility, and a lot of flexibility with where he wants to position. Can easily get out if he's got a wall around. And meanwhile, Lucio with that sound barrier, it really makes a big spike at level 10 for Subject to Change in that pick. They also have their support right now, so they're going to have the opportunity to try and ban out the support and put a little bit of a chokehold on that support position. A little surprised that A-MEI-ZING didn't want to go with the support here in the first round, but it just probably means they're a little deeper at that position and aren't going to be super picky about how they try to sustain through these team fights. They do get two pretty strong picks early, but to be honest with you guys, I'm not super familiar with Volskaya. I haven't had the opportunity to do a lot of casting while Volskaya has been a map, and surprising that it came back into the rotation for this year for not only NGS but also for the HGC. Meanwhile, Diablo and Greymane coming in. One thing I do know about Volskaya, there's a lot of terrain for Diablo to be able to push into, and ever since his globe changes with that level 1 talent for Diablo, he has been very, very strong in this meta. Plus, you add the speed of Lucio. That's a very lethal and worrisome combo for them to be able to go after here. The Greymane also very strong, just an all-around good hero. Going to be able to follow up the Diablo pretty well as well. Chromie going to be banned out from the side of A-MEI-ZING. Not wanting to see the burst potential coming in from the Chromie, the constant long-ranged poke onto the point. You're kind of locked into that point if you want to try and get the Triglav Protector here on Volskaya. So Chromie knows more or less where you are, and they will go ahead and apply the chokehold, the side of Subject to Change. They're going to grab the Alexstrasza ban out here and try to deny some of that healing power. Alexstrasza very strong on this map because of her major cooldowns, so pretty good pick there. Meanwhile, Li Ming and Ana coming out, so Ana going to be able to feed that ultimate into either Li Ming or Hanzo and try to get them going a little bit quicker, give them a little extra spell power. could be interesting to see exactly who the priority is there. You'd think Li Ming, but Hanzo also does quite a lot of ability damage. It's slow and steady auto attacks, but most of it is going to be coming from those abilities. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ana go either way with that ult. Question is, what exactly does Subject to Change want here? Greymane, a perfectly fine solo laner, but they could still decide to draft another solo laner. Definitely could use another frontliner and some serious backline damage. The Chromie and the Li Ming off the table here. So we could possibly see something in the way of like a Gul'dan, you know, something with some good solid wave clear. We're going to see Thrall and KT, so another really impressive wave clear mage. Thrall going to allow them some flexibility. Thrall's been kind of out of the meta for quite a while, but slowly been working his way back in, especially without this double support meta that we've kind of shifted out of now. Thrall being, getting a little bit stronger, the CC potential, the follow-up potential to the Diablo, and the speed to be able to help him engage and disengage from Lucio. I kind of like that pick, but also I'm mostly just interested to see how it works out here for Subject to Change, because we don't see a ton of Thrall. So we'll have to see if they can pull that off here. They do have the engage potential now to go after the Ana, to go after these backliners, and that is going to proc the Tyrael from A-MEI-ZING. So they want that front line to be able to try and protect and peel the Sanctification to put it down. And so there it is, A-MEI-ZING going to close it out with the Tyrael pickup here. Also going to be looking out to see how Ana can perform here. That's going to be kind of an interesting mechanism. We don't get to see a lot of Ana. So interested to see how A-MEI-ZING does with that pickup. And right out the gate, we get a Hanzo, our first game. We've got some of the newer heroes in the game right now. With that Hanzo pickup, the Ana, some new blood here, and some really old blood returning with the Thrall. Quite a lot of fun here. NGS season number 3, week 1 right now. Swapped over. We load into Volskaya Foundry. And in we go to Volskaya Foundry. On the left, in the blue trunks, it is going to be Subject to Change. Math Problem going to be leading the way here on Diablo. Timmy B going to be on the Greymane. Multi-Pass on the Thrall. Linehouse is going to be playing Kael'thas. And John Concarne going to be on the Lucio. On the right, wearing the red trunks, it is A-MEI-ZING. Hayes is going to be playing the Hanzo. Machiavelli gonna be on the ETC. Lasai gonna be on the Li Ming. Line Text is gonna be on the Ana. And in the bottom lane, it is Kaizen on the Tyrael. Right away, they're gonna send the Tyrael to the bot lane there. Gonna be getting ready to soak that lane. Meanwhile, everybody else kind of doing the mount dance here in the mid. Both these teams, it's early in the season, so can't be all that much on the table as far as scouting. I think both these teams are going to spend a decent amount of this first game just rotating, feeling each other out, trying their best not to make a rotation error, and just kind of getting towards it. Let's go ahead and we'll pull up these talents. Well, I'm gonna actually leave that here. A lot of new stuff for me today. This is actually my first game using this new UI, so really like it quite a lot. It gives us the talent picks as they come in hot, and a nice convenient size for the talents there in the bottom. We'll be able to keep up with Linehouse and those convection stacks. He's going to be wanting to play very careful, but not a whole lot of pick potential over on the side of A-MEI-ZING, so I kind of like that pick. Nowadays, with how globes work and the kind of the mini game of globes in lane, you could make an argument for Mana Addict, but if you need a wave clear, if you're really just focusing on the wave clear potential and the damage, you know, it's kind of hard to beat the convection. Cocktail build being started here by our gray main player. Not a big surprise there. While Hanzo is going after the redemption, so he's trying to build on that early questing talent. Not gonna be looking towards geometry. Really too worried about the geometric forces down here. But also makes him a pretty ideal solo laner. You know, it's kind of that talent kind of forces you to want to rotate more often, and so I really understand that pick when you're just simply laning. But he is gonna start to look towards that PvE damage potential with that second pick.
We redesigned our trigger protector for combat in the Nexus.
Meanwhile, Mute Pass has gotten a nice start on his Lightning Quest there at 1, already up to 12. Make that 13. And we will see Math Problem going in after Haze. He's going to have to leap over that mid divider there, and we're going to see the point spawning in just a little bit here. Going to be going to the mid lane. Meanwhile, both teams rotating around. Not missing much soak. Been a pretty clean rotation game so far. No real threats for picks. We are going to see the side of A-MEI-ZING, though, are prioritizing the support camp here. Timmy B going to take a lot of damage here, as we do see the slide in. Math Problem, though, not afraid. He's going to charge in. Will be knocked off the point with face melt. Timmy B coming in, too, but they are going to both end up falling here on the point. Multi-pass trying to do something from the back end, but the resets are real as Lasai comes in and will clean house, getting them that support camp, and they're going to be able to rotate to the mid here and get started on getting the charge percentage here on the control point. Start working towards getting that first Triglav protector. Not the strongest thing in the world. You know, a lot of people have criticized the strength of some of these early map objectives, and it's true. You know, it really is true that Triglav protector, the Punisher, they're not super strong in the early game. They don't get a whole lot of push. So it's not something where, you know, you just want to completely abandon the laning phase. As we see the side of subject to change, sending their Thrall up and, you know, getting that soak in the top lane. We see the camp being captured in the top to try and pressure a little bit, but a nice answer here from subject. But meanwhile, good zoning here. They've gotten the charge all the way up to 95%, and just now we're going to see the contest here at the 100% point. If anything, just stalling at this point, but they are actually starting to commit to it. Kel'Thas is not here, and actually the Grey Main is going to fall before the Kel'Thas even gets in here. Linehouse not able to really affect too much here, but Lasai getting yet another kill. And we will see the Triglav protector picked up here for the side of A-MEI-ZING. They're going to start moving it in, and like many teams, they're only going to dedicate one player to it. So nice thing here with the Triglav protector is, you know, you obviously don't have to have both pilot and gunner. You can have a pilot, and if you want, you can even switch him into gunner position. But for right now, they're just content with just the pilot that's just soaking up the damage. He's being the more tanky version of Tyrael here. Going to be able to Aldruin's out, and they'll get a decent amount off the mid lane, all the while a few members rotating up to the top, getting a little bit of work done, but actually not as much as I would have expected with the small commitment that we saw to that mid lane. Nice answer here from subject to change. You got to just look at that and realize that, you know, wow, only 2 of these cannon towers down for the price of a Triglav protector. However, the 5 kills are a completely different story here, with about a level lead right now for the side of A-MEI-ZING. Take another look at some of these talents. We've got 6 convection stacks so far here. We do see that the Chain Lightning quest has been completed for Thrall. 10 stacks so far for Haze on that Hanzo. So, you know, people getting some stuff done. You do see them going ahead and trying to get started on yet another support camp. Very influential here. And with the level 10s, not surprising that they are going to go ahead and back off. The ultimates are in Sanctification. We are going to see, instead of Mosh Pit, it is going to be the stage dive for that global presence coming in for the ETC. It is, of course, going to be Nano Boost and the Wave of Force. Not a big surprise there. Full Calamity build here for Lasai, so very deadly, but also having to really engage into the Thrall, Diablo, and the Greymane. So we'll have to see if that works out for Lasai. Level 10s have come in, and picks are coming in hot. It is going to be the Cursed Bullet. Of course, we're going to see APOC, Phoenix coming in. But Mew Pass coming in from the back end with the Sunder. They are going to be able to get very, very low there on the Kazin. However, Greymane and Thrall are the first two to fall here. They get the Hanzo in return, but Linehouse running for his life here, holding on to those 7 convection stacks. And Machiavelli not willing to let him go for free. However, it does end up being a 2-for-1 exchange. The root coming out onto Lasai. Gonna have to blink out. Forget the Calamity. They just wanted to escape. We will see the charge in from Math Problem as back and forth they go here. The aggressive slide in for the escape from Machiavelli. It's very Italiano username you got there. I like it. You want to go play some Mario or something? Mario.
Power routed to the terminal.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, we do see the points being grabbed here for the side of Subject to Change. Nano Boost is available once again, along with many of the ults. Everything but Sanctification for the side of A-MEI-ZING, so they do go ahead and come in. Stage dive on the far side, not going to find its mark. However, it is going to get him up here for the moment, coming in from the backside. But the Thrall, the first to fall, and now the resets are in for Lasai. Ton of damage coming down. The Lucio will fall. Diablo goes down, and thank heavens Lasai was out of mana. Otherwise, we might have seen the Greymane with a little bit of problems there too. But level 13 achieved, and all of a sudden, oh wait just a minute. KT also falling here to the Hanzo. Hayes with a huge play. I didn't even catch it, but what a huge play. The convection gets reset. So that hurts. That really hurts if you're the KT player right now. I don't remember exactly how far he was on the convection, but it seemed like he was around halfway, if I remember correctly. But not a whole lot of long exchange team fights here, and not which you would expect. You would expect to get that more often on Volskaya, but lately in these post 10 team fights, it's really just been quick cleanup fights here from A-MEI-ZING. So not a whole lot of opportunities for stacking that convection. Of course, it will get a little bit easier should they make it to 16. With the double,
Blue team has
the double flame strikes from that level 16 talent. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. You see Linehouse coming in to the mid. 3 members in the mid, so you'd like to be there to try to exchange. But also, I don't know. Lasai's been pretty lethal. You don't really want to get in too far. Also, Hayes dealing, I would imagine, quite a lot of damage in this game as well. Yeah, 20k. But yeah, the real story there, 32k coming in from Lasai. Holy cow. All the while, the Trigger Lab Protector had been grabbed. I hadn't even noticed, really. I'm not lying. Huge arrow coming in, stunning 4 here from Hayes. But we do see the sound barrier in response, getting Timmy B out. But once again, they go after Linehouse, and Lasai cleaning house. Gonna be able to get 3 of those 5 kills. Full team wipe coming in here for A-MEI-ZING, and the cleanup is real. The resets are in 16-1 on the kill count so far, and A-MEI-ZING making it look easy here on a Wednesday night. And they are now up 3 levels. They've got the 16s. They're gonna start looking at camps. And the world is their oyster. But, you know, at the end of the day, 16, call it what you will, but 16-1, 3 levels ahead, still haven't gotten a fort. All of these forts are still alive. You know, they've got really amazing kill potential, but yeah, and that's one of the things I really like about Hanzo. Lots and lots of damage, lots of kill potential between Hanzo and the Ming, but where's the siege damage coming in, you know? Tyrael, ETC, terrible siege, and one of the worst siege heroes in the game. Li Ming's okay. You know, Li Ming's got somewhat decent siege, but they nerfed it long, long ago. Meanwhile, Hei's getting caught out here. Nice gank, but Multipass actually throwing down the Sunder to try and secure that. Didn't really need it, but we'll see the 4v5 engaged here. ETC getting very low. They are on the chase. The stun coming in from Math Problem. Anna trying to keep him alive. So far is able to do just that. They turn and kill the Diablo. And now Lasai looking to pop off. We'll be putting a little bit of damage down on Multipass. They turn around and get some damage on the Anna. But Linehouse getting very low. Oh my goodness, almost just barely escapes there with his life. Lucio not so lucky. Never mind, the Kel'Thas goes down. And all of a sudden, the only person left alive is Multipass. And we'll extend that to 20-2 on the kill count. Whew. You just give one reset over to Sai. Oh, clean house. Meanwhile, just as I had mentioned that, you know, now 2 forts falling over on the side of the subject to change, I should say. Little lull in the action, so we can take a look at some of these talent builds. We did see the full cocktail coming out, 8 stacks so far on the Ghanaian cocktail for Timmy B. Well, we do see the bullet coming out, but the Wolves will miss as Machiavelli will go ahead and slide his way on out. Oh, man.
Red team has destroyed the fort.
So we do see the final fort going down for the side of Subject to Change. They have gotten the 16 now. Still half a level away from 20 here. It is the side of A-MEI-ZING. So this is exactly when you want to try and force something. I like the call to go to the front wall and try and force there, but they are going to ultimately rotate to the bot here because this, you know, this is where they know A-MEI-ZING is. They're going to force this fight pre-20. Ton of damage coming down onto Krazen, but the damage in response here is real from the side of A-MEI-ZING. They completely blow up, and Subject to Change scatters everywhere over the map faster than one of Hanzo's scattering arrows. And 4 for nothing, just like that. The 20 has been picked up. Another reset to the convection stacks, and A-MEI-ZING living up to their name right out the gate. And another kill going over to Lasai. What is that now? It is be a lot of killing blows. It doesn't show on here. Interesting. But still, you know, 64k damage, where the next highest in the game is your Hanzo, which literally has half. Well, it's not bad. It's not bad. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. There we go. Uh-oh.
Blue team's core is under attack.
Meanwhile, the Triglav Protector has been picked up, of course. Marching through the bot lane here. We do see the Phoenix coming out. They're trying to zone, but they are starting to get a little bit of damage. But as I said earlier, you know, I don't know, the damage, the siege damage is not really there, so it could take them quite a while to try and take down this core. They are going to turn and try and kill some of the heroes. We will see the first going down to the Hanzo there. Hei's getting himself a kill here in the late game. A little bit of damage coming in from the Flame Strike. We'll see Tyrael as he comes out of that Triglav Protector, throwing down the Sanctification. They're going to turn around and use that to get a full 5-man wipe they will turn and focus on the core. And that is going to be it. Game number 1. Going over to A-MEI-ZING here on Volskaya Foundry on their map of choice. Like they had a plan and they executed. Basically, give the resets over to Lasai and move on from there. I think that might have been a majority of the plan. But just a great performance. Great coordination coming out here from A-MEI-ZING. And they start off with this first game here, 30-2 in the kill count. They had a pretty early lead in terms of level. You know, they were up by about a level and a half when 10 came around, and they just kind of wore them down from there. So that's pretty solid. Game number 2, we are going to be moving on to Sky Temple. So we'll get this all set up for you guys. And we're going to remember to make sure to put the right team drafting. It is indeed going to be team number 2 this time around. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing the response here for the side of Subject to Change. You know, how do they come out after that game and on their own map pick? You know, what do they want to try to employ? Do they have a special strategy that they like to roll with on this map? You know, how exactly they want to approach this? That's what I'm always interested in, is what's the response? What are the adjustments that they decide to make? So I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what adjustments are incoming. Also, I think I had a couple of new followers and a couple of hosts. I think Baha. Maybe, yeah. Big host there with 31. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. John Knight, thank you very much for the follow. As well as Geodude and Pursuit. Really appreciate the follows as well. If you guys are enjoying what you're seeing and you like NGS and Heroes of the Storm, not a bad channel to hit that follow button for. Wouldn't mind it at all. All right. All right, I think we got everybody in. Yeah, I agree, Ribley. I think, Thigh on that Li Ming just cleaned house a lot. That's really just all it comes down to. Made some really nice plays that game. All right. In we go.
You're mine now.
For game number 2. Actually, let me go ahead and update the score here. At A-MEI-ZING. capturing that first win here. They will be going for domination here in this game number 2. If they are able to win both games, they'll receive 3 points in the standings for Season 3 for NGS. If subject to change, you pull off the win here, both teams will go ahead and get 1 point. Move on with their respective games for either the rest of the week or for next week. If you guys aren't too familiar with NGS, it's a very fun community league. Each team plays every other team in their division, and then there's a playoff afterwards. Every team basically plays each other once. It's kind of a large round robin. It goes about 6 weeks for the regular season. Everybody plays 2 games most weeks, but there's a couple of weeks where you just play 1 game. So it's pretty nice. We actually played in our first game last night and went an even 1-1, so that was pretty fun. We got another one coming up tomorrow night. That's just really fun if you want something to, get into Heroes of the Storm competitive play with. It's a nice way to jump in without, needing to go against the aspiring pro teams. You get placed in a reasonable league for your level. And the respect band coming out right away. Li Ming going to be the bad out here for subject to change. Not a surprise after that last one. Li Ming very strong, not only in the meta, but also, very strong play coming out there from the side of A-MEI-ZING. Meanwhile, we do see the Genji coming out first. Kind of buried the lead there, Kazin. Not gonna lie. But pretty strong hero, in the meta right now. I think Genji's a really good finisher. You want somebody who can take advantage of those chunk plays. If you got a good chunk hero on your side to be able to clean them up. Very mobile. Very hard to run away or disengage from a Genji. And he's good on big maps because he's not a global, but the way he's able to rotate, it makes him like he might as well be a global. On Braxis, I call him a global hero because it's just very easy for him to go from one lane to the other. What's up, Mike? Welcome to the stream. Sorry about the delay, but 2 minutes and all that. Meanwhile, Anubarak and Uther coming out. So Uther gonna be kind of the denial pick here. You don't want to see Genji and Uther both on the same side. So they're gonna go ahead and deny that right out the gate. By the way, I failed to mention it throughout this entire cast and process, but we've got a giveaway coming up at the end. That we will go ahead and do a drawing, and we'll interview the winning team if they are up to it. So little banter going back and forth in the chat between these two teams. I love it. I love it. Murky. Yeah, Murky seems real strong. Yeah, better ban that Murky. I saw Once Upon a Time, saw Cloud9 win with that, in a big match, so you never know. But we will see the Tyrael and Brightwing coming out. So Brightwing, really good global hero for this map, good sustained healing. Also, Brightwing, a pretty decent counter to Genji, so a bit of a denial pick in a way, but also probably they weren't going to pick it with the Uther. Does kind of afford them the opportunity to dodge the potential healer chokehold. So we'll have to see what subject to change wants to ban out instead here. Not a whole lot given away so far. The Tyrael and the Genji, doesn't really show much. I think, if subject to change isn't planning on taking Greymane, that's a good ban. ETC, a good ban. We did see A-MEI-ZING use that pretty well the last game along with that Tyrael. Very high priority hero a lot of the time, so ETC will be banned out. He also doesn't pair well with the Nubarak, so I really like that ban. Meanwhile, the side of A-MEI-ZING, they, you know, who knows? You got a Nubarak and Uther on the other side. It doesn't really show much. Again, I think the Greymane could be a really good ban here. I think that would pair pretty well with what Subject to Change has. Plus, Greymane just really strong, and there it is. So they will go ahead and get rid of the dog. One of the dogs. I will not make a joke about letting the dogs out. I promise. It's dated. Don't need to do that. Yeah, lots, not only a lot of B Division games, Mike, but a lot of games in general. But if you like NGS games, just wait until tomorrow night. The schedule is just ridiculous tomorrow night. It's like everybody wants to play on Thursdays, but the draft rolling along here, we're going to see another Thrall coming out here from Subject to Change, along with the Lucio. So double support here. Very interesting. I wouldn't have expected to see it. Especially, you know, two supports that are pretty low damage. So, interesting. Interesting approach here from Subject to Change. I don't know if I like it, but we'll see how it works out. Pretty low damage team. I'm a little worried, but Illidan gonna be the pickup here for A-MEI-ZING. And the Vala. So I like what I see there. You know, they see the double support. They know that, it, you know, after the support nerfs, double support's not as strong as it used to be. They're just gonna go high octane, high damage. You know, good stick and chase potential. Everybody on that team, other than Brightwing, has a gap closer. Vala's got the vault. Illidan and Genji are both really good divers with good chase potential. Tyrael's very mobile. So I really like that draft style. It's going to allow them to get onto one target and stick on them pretty well. Probably the Lucio. Or whoever this last pick is if it's a high damage, which it really needs to be. Probably can't be another mage. You know, the Li Ming's banned out, and Li Ming's really the only one that's got the mobility to even try to deal with the
wait is over.
Yeah, so the Cassie is coming out. I was about to say, it's got to be somebody that's got some sort of self-sustain of some kind, somebody that can punish the dive, and the blinds are really nice against Illidan and Vala. So Cassie, a pretty neat pick here, but we'll have to see. Does a Nubarak as the solo tank with the Thrall in the front line and the double support to try to sustain them? I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's not a lot of burst over on the side of A-MEI-ZING. So a lot of it is sustained damage. We'll have to see which can win, the unstoppable force of A-MEI-ZING or the immovable object Subject to Change here. Double support comp. Yeah, a lot of people are playing tomorrow night, man. It's crazy. And most of the games aren't being casted because most of the casters are playing. I know I'm playing. But I might still be able to pick up one of those last games. I'm gonna be looking at that. We're gonna see how it comes out on the schedule. Meanwhile, we are loading in here to Sky Temple on the left in the blue trunks. It is Subject to Change. Math Problem going to be playing the Nubarak. Timmy B going to be on the Cassia. John Concarne on the Lucio. Linehouse going to be playing Uther, and Multipass is going to be on the Thrall. Meanwhile, on the right, A-MEI-ZING up 1-0 here in the series so far. Kazan going to be on the Tyrael. Lasai is going to be on the Genji.
Do whatever it is you do.
Oh, excuse me there. Linex is going to be on the Brightwing. Machiavelli is on the Vala. And Hayes is going to be on the Uther. Gotta love it when the frog jumps right into your throat as you're trying to do the introductions. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NGS. Meanwhile, both teams going straight out to lane, not wanting to fight too much over the point there. Guns coming out here on to Machiavelli. We'll be able to turn around and get a decent amount of damage out, but mostly on the side of subject to change. Just looking at the trying to wave clear right now. But both teams rotating right now, not trying to get in too much scrimmaging. They're mostly just looking at more just the wave clear right now. Multi-pass trying to do what he can in the mid here. Nice wave clear potential coming out so far from A-MEI-ZING. Kind of the bummer about the support changes is the fact that there's just not as much wave clear with these support heroes. So with the Lucio, he never really had very good wave clear though. Machiavelli getting knocked down to about half health there. Gonna have to go back and tap. Lucio never had very good wave clear. Uther also not a great wave clear hero in general. Is actually going more the Q build, so trying to build more damage style Uther. Here is Linehouse in the bottom. Sai gonna be able to dash his way on out of there.
The light of the sun grows.
Nice camp priority here from the side of A-MEI-ZING as they're going to pick up these bruisers nice and early. And that is what the Illidan affords them. You know, very easy hero to be able to camp. And they'll have a nice push going right into the temple phase here. Should give them a little bit of a positional advantage as the side of subject to change. Gonna have to deal with these mercs. Gonna have to send somebody in the bot lane to answer to this pressure. There's gonna be Math Problem, who again, you know, Anubarak, not great wave clear, is gonna struggle to deal with this, and Hayes is gonna continue to pressure him and push him back here. You know, both teams gonna go ahead and just sprayed out the temples for now. Looks like we have seen the cleanup here in the top lane of that camp. Did get a little bit of value there. And both teams doing a nice job of prioritizing, you know, getting the XP. Both teams going to reach level 7 right around the same time here. We are seeing Linux coming in here. Lightnex. Got to answer this push in the top. Meanwhile, Illidan is invading here. Should be able to pick up the siege camp pretty easily. Hillside getting in and getting some serious harass there onto multipass. Nice steal coming in here for the side of A-MEI-ZING. Meanwhile, 3-man push here in the top. The Holy Trinity. Well, the new Holy Trinity, which is tank, healer, and good siege damage. Used to be 2 supports and a good siege damage, but nowadays you'd rather have a tank, so this is the new version. Timmy B, though, coming up to answer. We'll be able to push them back with the help of this camp. Back and forth they go here. Thrall versus Genji. That's an interesting matchup we haven't seen yet. Hayes also putting some pressure down here onto Linehouse. Meanwhile, in the top, we do see a rotation in here. 3v3, but again, the camp is still alive. That's that fourth. Oh, meanwhile, Timmy B just getting dived on here. This is the strength of A-MEI-ZING's comp, though. They're very mobile. They're very easily able to get in after the members of Subject to Change. And while Cassia does have that armor while she's moving, she doesn't really have any mobility. So they are able to catch up to her, isolate her out, and level 10s are now here for the side of A-MEI-ZING. It is going to be the Emerald Wind coming in, Rain of Vengeance, Dragon Strike. We are actually going to, surprisingly, We're not going to see Hunt on this big map. It is going to be Metamorphosis coming out here for the Illidan, and then Sanctification. No big surprise there. Meanwhile, in the bot, a huge Emerald Wind coming in there. They will be able to capitalize on that. Lasai even getting in, but Linehouse with a very nice stun to cancel out the deflection opportunity there. And we will see the Genji going down in response, but still a 2-for-1 exchange for the side of A-MEI-ZING. Linehouse going to have to go back with low health and low mana. Meanwhile, A-MEI-ZING going to be able to drop back and grab this temple. We'll continue to rain shots down onto the respective structures here for subject to change.
Red team has crushed the fort. Kyoto slain.
Bala actually falling here.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
But both forts will fall here. Nice response, though, from subject to change. They know that right now they can't really rotate in time to be able to get down there and get anything from the end of that temple. They do rotate, but meanwhile the boss being picked up here for the side of A-MEI-ZING. And subject to change instead going to go ahead and settle for the camp. We'll be able to steal this top camp before any of the members of A-MEI-ZING can get in to do it. But the boss going to be traded. I think that's a trade that A-MEI-ZING will take. Level 13 is in. Math Problem having some positional problems here, as he's going to try to charge out, but the Metamorphosis coming in. Nice sound barrier coming in to counter. Divine Storm coming in as well to try the lockdown, but on the other side, the Sanctification comes in. Brawl is going to be the first to fall. And Illidan also falling in response, though, but a 2-for-1 exchange as the web wrap going to end. And Lasai getting around, but will finally fall here. And all of a sudden, it's just a bloody mess of a fight, as the exchange ends up being 4-for-1. But ironically, the one person that makes it out of all that is Math Problem over on the side of subject to change. Very, very scrappy team fight there from both of these teams. Worth noting, the subject to change, very competitive team fight despite being down those 13 talent tiers. Be interested to see what they can do on even talents, which will be coming up soon. They're going to have 13 very soon here. Both temples are up, so ample opportunities to go and force a fight. And they'll want to force it here before level 16 comes in. Haven't talked at all about any of these builds yet, so let's take a quick look. It does look like, you know, mostly going to be the Swift Strike build coming out here from Lasai on that Genji. It is going to be the auto attack build coming out for the Vala. Yet again, we're seeing Sunder. Sunder paired this time with the Divine Storm. So damage, Bruiser, Uther. Meanwhile, the side of A-MEI-ZING willing to trade here. You know, willing to go to this top lane. Brightwing is grabbing the shrine. All the while, they are trying to get more value out of that shrine by getting some extra damage in on the fort. The web wrap, though, going to block out the Tyrael, and Hayes is running for his life here. Will be able to make it out. Lindex trying to separate everybody with that Emerald Wind, but they are going to be able to chase him down and take him out. Hazen also in a lot of trouble here on the retreat, and all of a sudden, signs of life coming out here from subject to change. However, the camp marching through that top lane is going to end up taking down the keep. So eventually, they're going to be able to get K's in here. Don Carney will be able to speed up and get out of that situation. So you got to look at this situation now for the side of subject to change. They get those 2 kills. But what are they really going to be able to get out of it? They get on this shrine. They're going to get maybe 5 to 10 shots here. Hayes rotates quickly down and steals some of these shots in bot, and is going to actually be able to friend or foe his way out of that. Vala laying down a ton of damage along with Lasai, and the cleanup is on. 3 for nothing. as they did not have the Anubarak there to be able to help defend them, the only tank. So 3 members go down to the rotation, and as they were able to come back up after being killed. Of course, Brightwing with that phase shift was able to come back right away after coming back from death. And now the side of A-MEI-ZING, rotating around, looking towards this final keep. They have level 16, 17 in fact. So now the side of Subject to Change kind of backed into this corner. They are looking for an engage here, but without level 17, or without level 16 I should say, the talent tier here, gonna be rough. They do go ahead and go in with the Sunder and the Divine Storm, but the Emerald Wind, very nice zoning tool to get him out. However, the Illidan actually the first to fall. The Sound Barrier in return, and the Sanctification on the other side, as now the dash comes in, and Cassia and Lucio both falling there. Anubarak also shortly after. So they get the Illidan kill and just stay in a little bit too long here for Subject to Change. Mute pass, or multi-pass. I think of mute, but multi-pass. Trying to do what he can, but right now the side of A-MEI-ZING turning to the core here. And with the camp also flowing in the bottom, this should be the end of the game. Domination here by A-MEI-ZING. They are able to come out with a 2-0 victory and clean up here on Sky Temple. Very impressive series for A-MEI-ZING. A lot more competitive here in the second game, though. Subject to Change comes out and does have a really nice, really solid game here. Again, a couple of times where they had to take those fights a talent tier down, and I'd love to see what would happen if they were able to take those fights on even keel. But still very impressive from both of these teams, and you know, I'm interested to see where they go moving forward. A-MEI-ZING looking really good tonight, and you know, again, an interesting comp coming out here from Subject to Change. I didn't expect to see the double support. Not a very high damage comp. I think that's really the story there. Is you know, the Thrall, not really a very high damage assassin. Cassia also able to put out decent damage, but a lot of it's, you know, very spiky, where just the long sustained damage coming out there from A-MEI-ZING. Again, you know, pretty high damage numbers overall for kind of a short game, and I think they just out damaged them. There's really no other way to look at it there. But you all were promised a raffle, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Bear with me because this is my first time ever doing a raffle, but I do believe I have set up MooBot. I do have a backup plan if that doesn't work, so either way we're gonna do it. But we've got MooBot ready to go. Exclamation point raffle if you would like to enter the raffle here, and we're gonna try to set up this here. So you just type exclamation point raffle and we will enter you in to win. And what are you entering to win? That is the question here. Archangel was very generous here tonight to give us a Steam key here for Quantum Break. So that is what you guys are going to be looking for here. And looks like I've got this all ready to go. Thank you, Baja. Much appreciated, my friend. So, of course, we've got the delay. So, you know, while we've got the delay, we're going to go ahead and reach out to our winning team captain. We're going to go ahead and hop into lobby 2 here. All right. Let's see. There we go. I think we have gone ahead and caught up. Actually, let's go ahead and swap this over to... There we go. I'll see if I can... if we can get the picture up here. I know all of you know that I would never think to cheat on a silly raffle, and why would I? But you know, we'll go ahead and put this up just so there's no question. You know, we'll give it another minute or two for people to enter the raffle. Because why, you know, why would I fabricate a raffle? It just seems so silly. All right, so there we go. Got our little raffle screen here. I don't really know everything that's on here.
Hello.
Hello. I'm joined by Lytix, team captain for the side of A-MEI-ZING. Very good game, sir. You looked very clean. How do you guys feel?
We felt pretty good about those games. We tried to draft specific team comps that were very strong and powerhouse to be able to, yeah. Shh. Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's okay. But yeah, you know, it seemed like your guys' draft was really on point. Very high damage dealers, and you guys really utilized them well. Good coordination and camp priority. Just in general, as like a drafting ideal. What do you guys look for when you go into these games when you're drafting against a team you don't really know too well?
Specifically, we have like certain niches of two characters that we like to pair together, and so we usually draft those two characters, and then since we think those are very strong, but that's about it pretty much.
Yeah, I was really interested about the Illidan. I honestly didn't see the Illidan coming at the end of that second draft. But just in general, a very, very strong dive comp. But do you have any other shout-outs or anything you'd like to say for before we close out the night and finish this raffle?
I'd like to shout out to Mark and Colin. They're sitting at home back in San Diego, and they've been watching us, and we like to give them all our support, baby.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me. Congratulations on the win, and good luck in the rest of the NGS season.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks. All right. So we are going to go ahead and pull this raffle. I'm going to click the button and hope everything doesn't explode. So here we go. Time to draw. And it is Axon 56 who won. And I will go ahead and get you that Steam key. Looks like you got in just at the end too, so well done. You nailed it. So we will go ahead and get you that. And thank you everybody for joining me here. Big shout out to Archangel for very generously giving us that code and letting us run this raffle tonight. Thanks to NGS for putting this whole thing on. I know the admins work really, really hard. Congratulations to both of our teams for coming out and putting on a good show. Should have another game coming up for you guys tomorrow night. I'm going to try to pick up one of these late night games. I think we've got two different games, if I remember correctly, on the schedule here. Oh, wait, let's turn that off. There we go. I realized, hey, I'm rolling around on this and it's still showing on screen. So yeah, we got 2 different games starting tomorrow night at 9:30. We've got American Specialists and Drop Dead Gorgeous. Also, We Like Turtles versus Can't Stop, Won't Stop. So I'll pick up one of those games, assuming that my game is finished by 9:30, which I'm pretty sure it will. My game starts at 8 that I'm playing in. So I'm going to do my best to pick up one of those and cast one of those late night games for you. Then 7:30 on Friday, we've got another one coming up, which is Roll One Esports versus Team Conflict, and another couple of West B Division teams. And then wrapping it all up on Saturday, we're also picking up another late night game, which is going to be Chromie's Chronicles versus Do You Know? So if you guys are fans of NGS and you guys want to see more awesome Heroes of the Storm action, just tune in right here and hit that follow button. For NGS, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.